Welcome to Planet Doug. I'm not sure really what the story of this video is going to be because it's a kind of a combination. I'm heading off to meet my friend Matthew for breakfast, and that's going to take like a 30-minute MRT ride. I guess that's the main story of this video, but at the same time I've been, as always, playing around with different camera setups, and I wanted to do a bit of a deeper dive into using my Micro Four Thirds camera, which I'm using right now. This is the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II, and I haven't been using it for a variety of reasons, and I just wanted to test it out a little bit today, whether I can use it for walking around like this. And I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, so I'm not even using a external microphone for this segment. This is the built-in mic on the Olympus, and this is a pretty typical situation for me. A street like this, a lot of traffic noise, and I'm curious how the microphone handles it. And I'm also curious how it handles, stabilization. It's a heavier camera, bigger camera, with a narrower field of view than a GoPro. So yeah, I'm just trying to see how does this feel compared to using a GoPro. It's a much more complex camera, much more difficult camera to use. But most importantly for me, it's the field of view. So it's tighter on me. And the only way I can make it wide enough with this lens is to hold it far away, like as far away as possible, like that. But it's all a trade-off, right? A GoPro is easier, lighter, wider field of view, but the Olympus is more difficult in every way, but perhaps it gives a nicer video quality. And because I can use different lenses, it allows perhaps for a bit more creativity. Right now I don't have a zoom lens on it. This is the 12mm Olympus, the f2 that I'm using. So can't really zoom in on anything or be that creative with this lens. But I'm heading to the Panasonic MRT station, which goes right by the Central Market, Kasturi Walk, as you can see there. And the river is just over in that direction. I suppose I can walk along the river. Why not? So this is the stabilization of the Olympus, holding a camera in my hand and pointing it, just pointing it straight ahead of me. So the question I'm trying to answer is it worth it in terms of the trade-off using a heavier, more complicated camera with a tighter field of view? And all of this started because I was thinking about investing in a different lens. Panasonic has released a 9mm prime lens, which is just as small and light as my 12mm, maybe even lighter. So I was thinking of trading in my 12mm and buying the 9mm, but that's a pretty major expense. I'd lose a lot of money on the 12mm because it is an older lens now, very expensive when I bought it, but of course if I sell it used or trade it in, I don't get my money back, so it would be a major expense. So I'm trying to decide, is the 12mm wide enough? So here I am down by the river. And there's the post office. Some nice light, morning light is hitting the post office building. I'm inside the MRT station now, of course, on the platform of the Kajang line, and I have to head towards Kuala Damansara, which leaves from platform 2. A very crowded train already showed up as soon as I got down to the platform, but I decided to just let it go because I could see that there was another train coming in 2 minutes. I figure, yeah, there's so many trains, maybe the next one, like, rather than pushing onto the crowded one, just let it go and wait for the next one, since I'm not rushing to work. Yeah, all the people off that train, a lot of them wanted to take the elevator, and they all got in a big lineup, and they're still waiting their turn. But everybody has their phone, of course, so something to keep them occupied. I hear my train arriving. So I'm a big believer in getting out of the way and letting people off the train first. So I stand far away to give everyone as much room as possible. Yeah, this train is not nearly as crowded and not nearly as many people, waiting on the platform. I'm also a big believer in taking your knapsack off your back when you get on.
You are now approaching Samantha. Exit to the left door.
arrived at my station, Bandar Utama. There goes my train. And we're right beside the One Utama shopping mall, shopping complex. And now I just have to find my way to the underground parking garage. Matthew's gonna drive there and pick me up. It's been a while since I've done this, so I think I remember the direction to go. My instinct is always to go in that direction because that's the exit to One Utama. So my feet just naturally head in that direction, but I think I'm supposed to go the opposite way. And here I should be able to find the parking garage, or the drop-off pickup point. So this whole time I've still been doing kind of a camera test, and part of that test is using the built-in mics of the Olympus. I don't think it worked very well in this environment. Aha! I have gone to the right place. And I think now I'm going to switch over to the Rode Wireless Go, like an external mic, and we'll see what the audio sounds like. But this is what I've been looking for. This stairwell over here goes down to the drop-off pickup point for this station. And I just remembered that I think one of my favorite camera stores is just a couple of stops away. It's called Camera Valley at the Surian MRT station. I'm going to double check that, and then if it is located there, I'm so close, I think I'll zoom up there. I don't think I need anything right now, but I'd like to just wander around and check out what's on the shelves. I have 5 minutes to spare. Just enough time to put on a external microphone. Matthew just arrived, and this is the sound of the Rode Wireless Go. So this is a external mic as opposed to the built-in mic of the Olympus. And yeah, maybe the next time I fire up the camera, we might be sitting down at our breakfast place. I don't know where we're going. I think Matthew has an idea, and I'll leave that choice up to him. So we're getting close to our lunch place. Everyone probably knows Matthew over here.
Hey.
So where are we going for lunch, Matthew?
Breakfast.
Oh, yeah, breakfast. Nasi Lemak, right? Yeah, Village Park, Nasi Lemak. Matthew and I came here one time before, and it was good, so we're gonna go back for a second time. But parking is always an issue, so we had to find a spot in the underground parking there. And then we have to work our way through the mall. What's the name of this mall again?
Starling Mall.
Starling, okay, Starling Mall. Wonder if they have all their Christmas displays up yet.
I think so.
And the shopping malls in KL are known for their elaborate Christmas displays. This one looks fairly moderate, like pretty low-key display, but they have their Christmas trees up. And it's still early, so the mall isn't fully open yet. I saw the Christmas display at Berjaya Times Square. Maybe if I can, I'll stick in a little bit of video of that right now. And it was a very big, elaborate display with a lot of selfie stations where, you know, they build like Santa's workshop, and you can pose with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and all the elves. So yeah, it's a very, very big display at Berjaya Times Square. So there's the outside of the Starling Mall. I think I took video of this mall the last time we came here for Nasi Lemak. Unusually beautiful day right now.
It's an office building over there.
Yeah.
And then this one is also another office building, but also a convention center.
What kind of center?
Convention center.
Oh, convention center.
Also, this is the offices.
Offices.
We have studio apartments over here, and there's a hotel here on the other side.
Right. Okay. I've forgotten where this is now, this city.
Uptown Damansara.
Uptown Damansara.
You see, it says that we're uptown.
Okay. But Damansara is another city. Like, technically it's not Kuala Lumpur anymore.
It's a town, not a city.
A town, okay.
But it's located within the city of Petaling Jaya.
Oh, located in the city of
Petaling Jaya is within...
Petaling Jaya. Oh, okay. I find that really complicated. I call everything Kuala Lumpur. I think most foreigners do. We don't, like, wherever the MRT takes us to, we think we're still inside KL. But it's kind of greater KL, right? Metropolitan KL. This restaurant is famous. So they're very accustomed to people like me showing up with a camera. You see all the delivery guys at the outside as usual, waiting for their orders to zip them off. Village Park Restaurant. Yeah, as I said, I've already been here one time, and I shot video here as well. But I just thought I'd shoot just a couple of minutes of the place. The last time we were here, we were a lot earlier, so it wasn't so busy. And you can tell it's a famous place because of all the newspaper articles in the window. Ooh, eggplant. Can we get some eggplant?
I suppose we can.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it in one of your videos.
Yeah. Eggplant. Chad, look at all these dishes. And then this is the...
These people are scheduled just to do takeaway only.
Oh, takeaway only.
Takeaway, they make a lot of money.
Right. Because where they're assembling all the Nasi Lemak for takeaway. It's like an assembly line. And this would be for inside the restaurant, of course. Ah, there he is. Busy place.
Yeah, because we came earlier the other day.
Yeah. As I told Matthew, I had no plans to record our entire breakfast or our conversation, but I want to record, the food has arrived, so I'll show you what it looks like, what we're having for breakfast, not lunch. There is our Nasi Lemak, sambal. And last time I ate more sambal than you did, right? And we got some eggplant this time. And Matthew also went for the sambal. It's time to dive in. Yeah, I tend not to be a mixer. I know you're supposed to mix everything together. I like to take some rice and then get some sambal instead of, stirring it all together. That's nice. Yeah, really is nice. Spicy. It is spicy. Has a bite to it, but it's all right. Chicken is good. And final part of my breakfast, eggplant. Oh. Iced coffee, iced water, and the meal is complete. That's all I really wanted to say about the meal. I just want to dive in and enjoy this meal now. Have a chat with Matthew, and I'll check back in later after our breakfast is done. All right, that is it for breakfast with Matthew. He's headed off to get back to his real life. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm 2 MRT stops away from a stop called Suryan MRT station, and the Camera Valley camera store is there. And I don't have any particular reason to go there, but it's so close. I just thought I'd go. Looking at my camera, I went in the wrong direction again. I think I can go to the MRT right this way. Yeah, here we are. So yeah, I'm just going to go up the tracks, 2 more stops. Just pop into Camera Valley, rummage around, just look, see what's on the shelves, just for fun. I've noticed this advertising campaign for quite a long time. Who's Call Premium, warning against scammers, but they often have a fox, like representing the evil scammer. So the poor fox always gets maligned, you know, always portrayed as a trickster or a thief. Needs a new marketing manager to get their image improved. We've arrived at Surian, and if my memory is accurate, Camera Valley is here in a nearby mall. I noticed at KL Central they had a piano there, which was listed as a kind of interactive art exhibit, an art space that anybody could sit down and play the piano for other people in the transit system. And I'm wondering if this is part of the same sort of exhibit. This is Bangkit. Oh no, this must be something else. But yeah, they have some books on display. I think these days, if you're young, if you're a child or even a teenager, if you grew up in the digital age, you almost have to be reminded that paper books actually exist. Because even I kind of forget from time to time, because we've moved on from paper books to such an extent. Everything is so digital now. Feels almost quaint to see a bookshelf now. So maybe this serves to prompt people to remember that there was such a thing, or there is still such a thing as paper with ink on it, that you can actually read it. So if anyone ever needs camera gear and wants to go to Camera Valley, that's where you start from. Surian Station, number 7 on the Kajang Damansara line. And of course there's always construction, big tower going up over there. And you walk from the station in this direction towards that big tower. And then there's a shopping mall right over here. I'm not sure what, Sunway Giza Mall? Giza? I'm not sure. I think it's Sunway Mall right over there on the left. And that's where Camera Valley is located. The most challenging thing about going to Camera Valley is often just getting across this road because of the volume of traffic. To wait for a break. Oh, yeah, I can sneak across right now. All right. It's kind of an outdoor mall, like it has a courtyard in the center, and then a bunch of shops just around the courtyard, right through there. There's a lot of shopping here, as you can see, this whole area out in front. Tons of stores, restaurants, commercial district. This is where I made one of my many camera-related mistakes, because I bought my Panasonic G85 at Camera Valley long ago, and that turned out to be a mistake in the long run. It's not a camera I got a lot of use out of. Seemed like a good choice at the time, but I did not choose wisely. So yeah, here's the courtyard of Sunway, maybe. It's called Sunway. And it looks like they have, I don't think I've ever gone down there, but it looks like they have a bunch of shops, maybe on a lower level. Oh no, that's just the parking area. And right over here, if it still exists, yeah, right up there, Camera Valley with the yellow. It's up on the 2nd floor. They've got a good website. Really great guys run the place. So, all your photography needs. There are the hours, Monday, Saturday, 10 till 6, closed on Sunday. And as I said, it's the kind of place where you probably want to check out the website before you come here, see what they have, and then you could probably order it and have it delivered, things like that. It's a kind of a modern place. But I always like going places in person. And then you have to get buzzed into the store over here on the left. Well, just leaving from Camera Valley, I didn't film any of the inside of the shop. I didn't want to bother the guys. with me wandering around with my camera. I bought a new chest harness for my GoPro. I've been using a third-party chest harness, which has been working, but it's getting quite old now, and the elastic straps are all stretched out, and it's really heavy and bulky. And I've always wanted to try one of the GoPro. It's called the GoPro Chesty, the second generation of harness, you know, on your chest. And since I already had a third-party one, every time I was looking at the GoPro version, it was like, you know, why buy this one? I already have one. But I finally bit the bullet and decided to pick one up, because I do use the chest harness, the GoPro chest harness, a lot. I use it a lot, so it's worth the investment. I think it's a lot lighter and smaller, and better straps, better buckles. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But anyway, that is what I purchased here at Camera Valley. And that is basically it for my small adventures for this morning. From here, I'm getting back into the sun. Back into the sun. Back into the MRT system, which is right over there. Heading back to my hotel to settle in for a little bit. But for now, I think that is the end of these little adventures. Wow, beautiful day. Nice. Nice to get away from the rain a little bit. So with that, I'm going to shut down. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Welcome to the bonus section of today's video. This video sequence is something that I shot a couple of days before I met Matthew for Nasi, Lemak. I was hopping into the MRT system here to go to Loyat Plaza, shopping for some electronics, and I wanted to go to a camera store, and I was meeting up with the international big shot at Starbucks at Berjaya Times Square. And I thought, since I was going out for a little bit of a exploration around KL, I threw a GoPro on a chest harness. This is the Pasar Seni MRT station on my right, and all those buses, those are the Go KL buses for the purple line. And I was surprised to see that they've all gone electric. I don't know when that change took place. Maybe it happened earlier and I just never noticed. But today I saw, yeah, they're all electric buses now. That was kind of a surprise. I read an article that they're going to start charging for foreigners to ride on the Go KL bus, so it's not going to be completely free anymore. But again, I don't know when that change is coming into effect. So right up ahead here is the entrance to the Pasar Seni MRT station, and I'm riding on the Kajang line to Bukit Bintang, and I had a bunch of extra coins, so I wanted to use them to buy a token. But these machines are actually really complicated to use, even for local people. And I ended up waiting behind these two people for so long, they couldn't figure out how to do it. And they kept restarting over and over again. And I eventually just gave up. And I went through with my Touch and Go card. Always a lot easier to use the Touch and Go card. I just thought, as I said, I could use the machine to get a token just because I had a bunch of coins I needed to use up. So here's the platform for my train. That big sign there, yellow and red with all the fireworks, that's an advertisement for the new shopping mall, the TRX Exchange. And they seem to have sunk a lot of money into marketing because they, I see advertisements for the mall all over the place. Just riding on the MRT. Feels like my second home by now because I've been in the MRT system in KL for so long. And sometimes you're out there and the car will be completely empty. Then the door opens and it's like an entire school of students pour in. Like it just happened to be a time when all the schools let out. And then the whole train can just be jammed from top to bottom. You can see that everywhere, like if you pop into McDonald's or something and you happen to go there just when the school's let out, there's like this flood of young students come in all at once. So I have to figure out what exit. It's been a while since I've done this, so I had to refresh my memory which way to exit the station for me to walk to Loyat Plaza. Very busy part of KL, of course. I guess you would call this a downtown KL, and that's the monorail right up there. I could have taken the monorail to go where I wanted to go. I could just go down to KL Central, hop on the monorail, and then it would take me right to Imbi Station. Then I don't have to do any walking at all. But the monorail sometimes can take a long time to come, between trains. You might end up waiting for a long, long time. So, and I don't mind a little bit of a walk. They're the stop and go KL tourism buses, the double deckers. They leave from right there. I noticed that they have signs on those, the pricing signs, and it says for Malaysians, 30 ringgit, and then it says something like standard, 60 ringgit. So like instead of saying foreigners, they have dual pricing, 30 ringgit for Malaysians, 60 ringgit for foreigners, and then people can get upset at that. So they've tried to be a little bit tricky with the language. I saw the sign as I walked by, and it said 30. It said 30 for MyCAD. You have to have a MyCAD Malaysian identity card, and then then the other price is 60 ringgit, and that's standard. And it's almost like they're trying to charge foreigners double the amount, but they're trying to keep it a secret. Like they keep the language a little bit vague. So here I am going to Loyat Plaza, and if I can get away with it, I'll often take the elevator. On the weekends, it's impossible because the elevators are so crowded and they never come. But on a weekday, it's a lot nicer to take the elevator up and down rather, because when you walk by all of these stores, people, a lot of the clerks trying to get your attention. It's better just to take the elevator. I love this store. This is all IT, and I just stopped at a GoPro display, and I'm looking for a USB-C extension cord, but I couldn't find one. This guy's showing me one there, but the only USB-C extensions they had were 5 meters long, so they were way too long. So now I'm just looking at all these hubs for my MacBook because my USB hub burned out. It doesn't work anymore, so I have to buy a replacement. And there's so many different varieties. It's really hard to sort through all of the options. And I ran out of time, basically. I had to go meet Bill, the international big shot for coffee, and I didn't have time to choose which one I wanted to get. So now I'm going down the escalators. I'm not going down the elevator. And I think, I was looking for a bathroom. And as often happens to me, look at this, closed. I mean, in Malaysia, every time I try to use a public bathroom, like in a building or in the MRT station, it's always closed for cleaning or closed for repairs. It's like I have a superpower that every single bathroom I try to use ends up being closed for one reason or another. But I eventually found one. I came down to the next floor, zooming around, looking for the signs. There it is. And I'm just coming out of the bathroom there. Back to the elevator. Again, completely empty elevator. It's very rare for Loyat Plaza. Down on the ground floor, that display area there is like a obstacle course for flying drones. So there's a company there trying to sell their drones, and I guess they're like racing drones, and they set up an obstacle course where people can try them out. So that kind of orangish building across the road, that's the Berjaya Times Square shopping mall. And there's a really nice Starbucks there. It's one of those select ones or premium ones. They have a special name for these Starbucks. They're more expensive than the other ones. And then when you order a coffee there, you get a piece of chocolate with it. And the coffee, to me, always tastes better. It's more expensive. I think they give you an extra shot of coffee, and then you pay, a premium price for that. But yeah, I like this Starbucks, and I arranged to meet Bill, the international big shot here. And yeah, Starbucks is just to the right of the main entrance. There it is right there. And Bill is often a man who arrives early, so I went looking for him. I couldn't find him. There he is. So we sat down, had a coffee, had a good conversation, and now, after a visit to a camera store, I'm going back to my hotel, and I decided to walk all the way back. And this time I have the GoPro set to a time warp. So it's a little bit smoother than what you saw earlier, because that was just normal video with, and I just sped it up. But you can still see all the bobbing up and down. So yeah, I think to do this with a GoPro, you really need to hold it in your hand and try to hold it steady. To put it on a chest harness, it doesn't really work. Big Christmas display at Berjaya Times Square. So I decided to go for a walk through the Christmas display. And the plan was to stop for a few seconds in front of each, selfie station. And I slowed down the video a little bit here just so we can take a better look at it. There's Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus at their dining table. And there's their living room. And they have all kinds of places there where you can sit down and pose and your friends take pictures of you. And I think this is like a place for the elves, workshop and toy shop, things like that. Everybody's posing for pictures. All the shopping malls in Kuala Lumpur put on really nice displays for Christmas. It can be a lot of fun just to go around the city to visit all the malls and just see all the different Christmas displays that they put on. It's funny, I associate Christmas in Malaysia with shopping malls because those are pretty much the only places where you see evidence of Christmas like this. And they put on some really nice displays. I think right around the corner here is Santa's sleigh with the reindeer. A young boy getting his picture taken inside the sleigh. There he is. And they have a sign here warning people, like, please do not climb on top of the reindeer. So if you get carried away taking your selfies, they don't want you actually sitting on top of the reindeer. They're probably quite expensive. They look handmade, and they're probably quite expensive, this whole display. They don't want people breaking them in half by sitting on them. It was really nice to see, actually. I thought they did a really nice job with this display. Felt like you were inside the middle of a Christmas village. So I'm exiting from Berjaya Times Square now, and then I have to cross the road and then make my way on foot back to Chinatown and then back to the Kojoy Hotel. I still have the video, the time warp here set at a relatively slow speed, and once I get to the sidewalk and turn around, then we're going to switch back into normal speed. It's actually probably too fast because I'm having trouble keeping up with my narration. We're passing by so many things. And here we are back in regular time warp mode. And I've got to get across the street. So up I go onto the pedestrian bridge and across Berjaya Times Square on one side, Loyat Plaza on the other. Quite a few challenges along the way for pedestrians. I'm quite used to it by now, like walking around any city in Asia. They're not really designed for pedestrians. They're designed for cars and motorcycles and trucks, and then sidewalks and things like that are a little bit of an afterthought. So it's a little bit like going through an obstacle course. And like there, I've got like 3 different motorcycles trying to run me over. And yeah, you really got to keep an eye out for where you're going and look to all sides, and then dodging in and out of all these fence poles and barriers and hedges and crossing these roads. And that's the monorail again on my left, heading down towards KL Central. This is always a tough road to get across. The flow of traffic is almost endless. And then on the other side as well, it can be quite dangerous because cars come around that corner really, really fast, and you have to keep an eye on them. Looking back towards Berjaya Times Square, and off on my left is another major urban development in Kuala Lumpur, Bukit City Center, I think it's called. Or Bukit Bintang City Center. Oh, here, by the way, there used to be a sidewalk, but then there was a construction project, and then the sidewalk disappeared, and you had no choice but to walk out in the middle of traffic. Yeah, I remember that. But here, I rejoined the sidewalk again, and there's the Bukit Bintang City Center. So I've got a bit of a sidewalk I can follow here. Well, I always love a good map. That's the KL MRT system, and I'm pointing at where we are. That's the Hong Tua monorail station. And just up ahead, I turn right, following along some the KTM railroad line and heading back towards Chinatown. I was going to stand here long enough for a train to come. I really wanted to capture a train on video, but I could tell it could take like 20 minutes for the next train to go by, so I gave up on waiting for the train. There's another pedestrian crossing to get across those busy roads. And there it is, my favorite building from a visual point of view in KL, Merdeka 118. And I stop here a couple of times. I try to lift up the GoPro because I want to get a video of the entire building all the way to the top. But because I can't see the screen, I just have to guess, how to angle the GoPro. And as you can see, I don't raise it up high enough. I tilted the GoPro, and I thought I aimed it like really high up to get the whole building. But every time I did that, I only got the lower portion of the building. That was kind of funny. I had the idea that this entire Merdeka 118 complex was nearing completion. But as you can see, the lower area there, whether that could be a shopping center, parking lot, I don't really know what all of that is. You can see all the beams that are being put in place. Yeah, there's a long ways to go. I mean, the building itself seems to be completed, like at least on the outside, but the lower section, the whole development around the skyscraper is still being built. I don't know what the schedule is for completing it. I was actually surprised to learn that the TRX complex was completed before this one. For some reason, I don't know, just in terms of the scheduling, I thought this one would be done before TRX, but there again, I thought I lifted my GoPro nice and high, but I'm nowhere near the top of that skyscraper. This whole area, has been under construction for years, And as a pedestrian, every time you walk down here, there's new challenges. It's like being a rat in a maze, trying to figure out exactly where you can go. The sidewalk will be blocked or will be open, or the roads will be blocked or open, and you just have to make your way as best you can. And at the bottom of this hill, we're arriving in Chinatown. So this is one of the main streets of Chinatown. It's a very busy street in the evening in particular. So it's not really rocking and rolling quite yet. Like you can see all those tables and chairs. All these restaurants put out tables and chairs on the sidewalks. And this whole street will be filled with people at night coming out for meals. And I've stayed in a couple of different hotels along here. The one right up ahead, the Nanyang Hotel. I think it's this one right on my right. Yeah, Hotel Nanyang. I've stayed there just once maybe. And that's the Grocer's Inn, more like a backpacker hostel over there. Very old, traditional kind of place in a historic building. So you can see they're setting out all the tables, getting ready for the nighttime traffic. It's always a fascinating place to walk around. You're never short of things to look at. There's always something going on in these streets. And of course, as you walk, you know, you're dodging people, dodging cars, dodging all sorts of things. Yeah, like I said, it's like going through a maze. That's the Kota Raya shopping mall. Quite an interesting one. It seems to have a lot of Filipino shops in there. So there's a very large Filipino community in that mall. Right to my right, that's what we're passing right by, the Kota Raya. Getting very close to the Kojoy Hotel. The entrance to the Petaling Street Market is right on my left. Maybe I aim my camera in that direction. Oh, I forgot. Before I went back to my hotel, I decided to get some shawarma. And I spotted this on another day, and I thought I'd just come and get myself a shawarma. This guy, he was really interested in my camera, so he was asking me questions about the GoPro and my YouTube channel, and that's what we were talking about right there. I ordered 2 large shawarma for a takeaway, and they turned out to be delicious. They were really, really good. I ended up going back to this place a second time, I think the very next day. It was so good, I had to go back for a second time. It was fun to sit here, watch him at work. He was making a couple of shawarma for that woman who's standing on the left as well, so he had quite a few to make. And I could just sit there and watch everything going on. So I had my dinner, which I was going to enjoy back in my hotel room. And turning left here, there's the Petaling Street Market and the Kojoy Hotel. Yeah, one of the Go KL buses goes right along here as well. There's one on the right. And here's the door into the Kojoy Hotel. A little bit of Christmas decorations. And in the elevator, I'm on the 4th floor, but you see on the number at the top right, it'll say 3A because they don't want to have the unlucky number 4. I wanted to go out on the roof to get some video of the city from up there, but yeah, the door was locked. And they have a nice water filter machine here. And it's really hard for me to fill up the bottle because I'll fill it a little bit and then just drink all the cold water. I'm always so thirsty. I drink so much. And once I have cold water, that is the end of my walk for today and the end of the bonus video.